Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, so I just finished up the cleaning up both tails on that last piece, and now it is time for fit up. So bring you along for that tedious portion of it. And I cleaned it up a little bit and it just barely fits on there. What you don't want to do is force it on there and have your end tails split. That would be a bad thing. Or have it split down here. You want it snug. You want it a good tight joint, but you don't want it to split. So it's a tight. It's a dance, so to speak. And do you take it off of the tails? Do you take the meat off the tails, or do you take it off of the pins? I don't like to mess with tails too much once I've gotten them, but sometimes that's warranted. It's just easier to take the meat off the pins. Now, how do you know where to take the meat? Well, it's just a matter of, for me anyway, once you know it fits, the shape is correct. Once you know the shape is correct, it fits and everything, then it's a matter of just, if it all looks as though it's lining up correctly, you can go up underneath, put a flashlight up underneath so you know where not to take. But it also shows you where your meat is. And sometimes I'll just mark it so I know where to start taking a little bit of the meat. So we're pretty tight, almost on all of them. But you'll also notice, now I don't use this side of the hammer, I use the dead blow side, the softer side. And I don't go too, you can feel it if you do go to this side. You can feel when you have gotten to a point where you need to take off material before you go any further. You'll also see when you look at it, you'll see a little bit of bruising where it's touching. So where it's rubbing, really. And so you take a little bit off. Just take it off the entire face. And not just in one little section.
Is your shopping done? Make this a year to remember with a gift from Fred Meyer Jewelers. You still have time to get amazing sale prices on diamonds, pendants, rings, and more. But hurry, this sale ends on the 23rd. Click now to shop online or stop by the store today. Wishing you the happiest of holidays from Fred Meyer Jewelers.
And this is a tedious process sometimes. Sometimes you get it and it's pretty good. Other times, not so easy. And I'm not a dovetail expert. I don't cut these all the time. There's way better people out there to teach you how to cut dovetails. I'm just kind of bringing you along for my journey on one set. The more you keep those corners cleaned up, the less trouble they'll get you once you get to that point. Make sure I don't have any ridges. I'll try it again. Well, it's going a little bit further this time. You could, if you wanted to, just... So it's just a hair looser over here. It's tight in the middle and it's a little bit tight over here. And you can feel all this stuff. So as long as you don't have a gap on one side, because it should all be lining up, it's going to tell you where to take it off. You can kind of gauge it too when you wiggle it around, when you pull it. All the lines are mating up perfectly though. So now I'm just looking for the bruising. And I'll be taking it a little bit off here, here, and then less here and here. It's tightest in the middle. And really I'm going to take it just towards the bottom half, because it's snug up on the top. I'm just taking very little bit, a little bit at a time. Just don't break out. Don't go all the way through and break out that corner. I always go just to the, almost to the corner, and then I'll come down to finish it off. Typically. Unless it's super fine like that one. Check it again. Not a whole lot of progress. It's about halfway down now. And of course, you're always going to cut out the bruising. Your original lines, too, will guide you. And I gotta do this 3 more times too. Now it's really tight here. Well, still more tight here than it is on the other two. These two are still about the same. It's that middle one. It's still real tight. Take a little bit off here because I see there's a gap between my line and where I cut on the tail section. Taking a little bit off here. You can go across and then just come, as long as you don't go straight across, you have to skew it if you're going to go off the end. And you'll get to a point, still see that I'm getting a little bit of bruising up top. And up top only really, because that's where it's engaging with the mating piece. And probably, because this isn't going to fit either, so I'm just going to clean up the tail section here in a second. Just check for good measure. Check with the light, make sure we're not going overboard on one side or the other. I see a little bit of light here, so I don't want to mess with that. I can see light through here. So here, I'm marking where I don't want to mess with. And those are the two sides, so the where it's real tight right there, I think it's on the outsides of these. You can also look here. It's got to be right there on the tails. I want to clean up the insides of that tail, and that might bring us right in where we want to be. It'll be the outsides of this tail. And this is where Having that the dovetail chisel would come in handy if it was already cleaned up and ready to go. This is much more difficult than cleaning up pins. And you gotta clean up the other side before you flip it. For me, this is relaxing. It's enjoyable. And rewarding all in the same time. Let me see, it's already gone further. It may sound terrible, but I'm really not hitting it that hard because I don't want it to split. I'm just removing some of the eraser marks, or the erasing some of the pencil marks. Now you can start to see how it's coming together. Now I can already see a few flaws, but that's okay. It's hand-cut dovetails. I mean, It's not going to be perfect. I can still clean it up a hair to make it go a little easier.
Celebrate the holidays with a new Buick, ranked highest in sales satisfaction among mass market brands by J.D. Power. Get cash back for 16% of the MSRP.
It's fitting really good.
Or choose 5,000 purchase bonus cash on select.
Cleaning up corners.
See your Northwest Buick dealer today. For J.D. Power awards, visit jdpower.com. Excludes 1SV models, limited to dealer selected vehicles in stock while stock lasts.
And I could hammer that home if I wanted to.
LED lights. They save money on your energy bill, and you can string 30 or 40 sets together.
Ace is a place for decorations you'll want to leave up all year. But you don't want to be that guy.
Find your locally owned neighborhood Ace hardware store by visiting ace.com. Ace, a helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
this should be it. Oh, it slides in there nice and snug. And so there's a little tiny gap right there. Well, there's marks all over this too, so there's a small gap here. And really, that's about it. You look at that side. I gotta clean up those corners so it'll seat all the way, and there's a little bit of gap there too, but that's all the same gap. So there's one gap in this joint, and that's fine. I could fill that if I wanted to, but this is a nice joint. I'm very proud of this joint for not having done this in a long time. It's very, very good. And then when I get done with the entire box, I will plane everything smooth, and we'll get to that point. I'll show you. I'll bring you all along for that too. But all right, thanks for watching, and if you learned something, great. If you're one of my friends and family, you just want to hang out with me, hey, how you doing? So I got to do that 3 more times, and it looks like 30 minutes a joint. 20-25 minutes more like, as long as they all go just as smooth. And I'll bring you along for the next step. Friends and family, I love you. Everyone else, I will see you in the next video.